Good morning. Cheers, everyone. Very hot this morning. I have to remember to drink it quickly. What? Me? I'm about to wax my ski. Oh, wax your skis. Okay.
Super chat!
Oh my god, I just had a freaking heart attack. Almost spilt my coffee everywhere. Crazy boy. Thanks for the super chat. Only 1,000, no, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Only 19,711,690 seconds till Christmas. Wow. Thanks, mate. That was very funny. Oh, my heart is thumping. I should turn my volume down. Oh, that was crazy. What are we doing today? Hello, Dave. I got nothing planned, really, because I actually moved everything away. I am just in deep in production. So much production. So, I like it.
Fred Hermanto says aloha.
Aloha.
Says now you know why I'm called Crazy Boy.
Yes, now I know why you're called Crazy Boy. Heart attack boy. We need to call it. Seriously, I'm still thumping. So I didn't want to start any new projects. I didn't want to, I've got nothing really to continue with. I got some PCBs out during the week. I did end up updating my test jig PCB. I am so not prepared for desktop. Hang on. Capture one moment, please. Just need to tidy some stuff up. By the way, I haven't updated the screen here, but that logo animation is called Bounce. Particle physics. No, it's called Bounce. So you can do logo, not that it won't change. But logo bounce, and there it goes. And so it bounces around, and if it gets stuck in a section that it can't get out of, because it's possible, it'll just disappear and pop in another place. And every time it bounces, it cycles the color through the rainbow. So every
says don't do like Bitoonies, don't dox yourself.
I've doxed myself so many times. So many times. And I'm still getting this ready. Sorry. Why is that even open? I don't know. I need that open. That won't work. Okay, sorry. I'm tidying up my desktop because I wasn't really ready for this. And I need to open. So it turns out that the speed, the CPU changes I made last week to slow down to underclock the CPU didn't help. It actually made things worse. So it only shaved I can't find and concentrate at the same time. It only whoa, there it is. Wow, that was harder than it should have been. Right, okay. Right, here we go. So it only shaved about 4 degrees off the overall temperature, but what it did was started failing on flashing for some reason. I was getting like 1 out of every 3 boards would fail to flash, and when I put it back to, or got rid of the min and max.
Absolutely says too awful here.
That's a 2-layer board. Once I put it back to just the normal CPU scaling, it stopped failing flashing. So yeah, I ended up cleaning this up a little bit more, and I did more of a cutout in the middle, and I routed 5 volts and ground to the outside, so I can just connect a fan to it if I want to. It's not speed controlled. I don't have any I/O free on the header that I could have controlled it with anyway, and I didn't change any of the electronics. I didn't want to get a new stencil. I didn't want to have to change stuff and then have to test it, and if it didn't work, whatever. So this is the new design. It just means that I've got some open area for heat to get out here, or to blow air in, and I've got this section back here, which again, I've just let some air out. It's not covering up the whole of the case. And the acrylic on the bottom, I'll cut a hole out of as well. I didn't say hi to everyone. Let me say hi to everyone. Okay, so let me just go back to here. Crazy Boy. Yep, we all know he's here. Yumbo Prime, good morning. Dishipu, hello. Peter. Dave, Braden, Bruce, Graham, Johnny, hello Johnny. Max is here. Geordie, hello. John Meeking, hi. Idirian, again. I keep stumbling on that, I apologise. Dutchsaurus, hello. Henrik, hello. Eric, Jonathan London, Rota, Siegfried, hi. Lost where I'm up to. Great, I'm going backwards now. Game Boys, hi. X Micron, Ray, Renee, Dale, hello. Backwards. Christopher Bransdale. Yep, got that right. Thank you. Wow, that was... hate mispronouncing people's names. Hello, Alex, Tiny LED Matrix. I think I've got everyone now. Cool. Did I say hi to David Boyd? No? Maybe? Or saying hi now. Okay, I think I got everyone. Excellent. Coffee, yum. So, yeah, so that I got that. I've sent that off, and I got some other PCBs sent off. I got 2 lots of PCBs on the way to me. Both got stuck in Hong Kong, and then have been shifted to Singapore, and now they're stuck in Singapore waiting for a flight into Melbourne, which is a little frustrating. Okay, so today I thought I would, and I'm being distracted by Discord. Dishipu, just saw your message. That's quite funny. Sorry, distracted. So, when I'm assembling boards, I know it's quite dark in here, sorry. I'm going to do the A word, warning everyone. Alexa, turn on fire. I have to get accustomed to it. It's just super bright. So when I'm assembling boards, and testing boards, well, first I inspect boards and then I test, right? And if I inspect boards and I see some really obvious issues with them, like things that aren't going to be like a very quick rework, I put them aside. And then if I'm testing boards and they fail for whatever reason, and it's not obvious why they fail, then I also put them aside. And then what I do is I put them aside in like a little container like this, and then someday when I'm feeling like it, when I've got nothing else to do, right, and I feel like torturing myself, I will have a look at them and see if I can revive them. Sometimes they're very easy fix, sometimes they're quite puzzling. There are some that I just can't fix for whatever reason, and it could end up being that there's a problem with the PCB. It's not uncommon for me to get panels that have got damage and manufacturing damage in them, or things like that, shorts and stuff. I get it a lot, unfortunately. So you don't know that. Like, I can't sit and test every single board on every single panel of the PCB before I pick and place them. The 2 issues with that is, the first one is it's super slow. Like, that would, to test every trace on every board. Right, and the other one is that by doing that, I'm putting oil and gunk and stuff, but just by touching the PCBs all the time, the panels, and then I've got to either really carefully clean them down before I use them, or they get dusty or whatever. So it's just easier just to build the boards. So I do have a pile of boards that I just cannot recover. There aren't many. Like, over the last 2 years, there's maybe 15 boards there. It's not such a big deal. I can normally recover them. So I've got some boards here, which I had in my picture, which have gone, they went pink. They're not really pink. I just thought it'd be funny. So like these ones, I'll put them on the microscope in a moment, but like these ones here, that is not in focus. You know, focus? Hello? I said hello. That's better. So you can't really tell, I'll show in a moment, but these ones here, I underpasted the pads around the ESP32 S3 chips, just on the right hand side. There was, they were the first boards in the panel, and for whatever reason, hadn't loaded the squeegee very well. So there's things like that, and then there's a bunch of nanos here. I don't even remember what is up with. This one's missing an antenna. Obviously, I must have knocked it at some point. It didn't reflow it on properly. And there's a few here. I don't remember what's wrong with them. So I need to put them in the test jig and find out what's wrong. This Pro S3 is not connecting to Wi-Fi, and I think I just need to pull off and reset the S3 chip. I'm not sure. So there's just things like that, right? So I thought I'd see if I can revive them. There aren't many boards, considering. It's pretty good. So I might actually start with the Nano, and I've got my test jig here. So you'll get to see my rework process. I'm going to call it process. It's not really rework.
Tess says it's dead, Jim.
It's not dead. Not really dead. Hello, Embedded Hobbyist. Hello, Chris.
Sigfrid Homanto says best trash bin. Send them to me.
Best trash bin. Well, I'd rather see if I can fix them first. Like silicon's hard to get, so I'd rather not, waste all these parts. That's powered up. I need to just connect to that, and we will. Well, actually, what I might do. So, what I rework with is now. I multiple ways. I use my new tweezers from my JBC hot air station. So that's I'm not going to use them right now, or they're on, but they're my new Nano tweezers, right? Or my little Nano iron, if I need to do some really fine pitch stuff. I know it's not in focus. I'll focus it in a second because I'm going to change it. Occasionally use my hot air, but I've also used my little hot plate quite a bit. What are they called? The MHP 30. As you can see, it's had a lot of use. So what I'll normally do, hang on, let me just focus. I'd rather use the hot plate than hot air. Here we go. The nice thing about using the hot plate instead of hot air is it's just hot air is really hard, especially on a small board, and to heat it consistently, it's much harder to work with. I get to use two hands when I use the hot plate. So we should start with just this one. I should grab an antenna. Can find one. Do I not have any more antennas in here? Ooh, okay, I'll grab an antenna. I normally have them in I should turn this on. Okay, cool. What am I not worrying? What are we worrying about? Sorry for the interrupt. Who, what, where? Okay, let me just move my chat over so I can see it. Okay, so that's warming up. I'm going to have to add some paste. And I should have done it before. Whoop, too much. Doesn't matter. It's going to have to get cleaned anyway. So in this case, I'm just going to repaste it, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of paste there. That's okay. I can squish it down and push some out to the side if I need to. So this should be an easy fix. While that's heating up, I wonder if you can see the temperature on the side. You can see it's going up. The Pico is the only chip that does not need matching. Well, all chips need matching. Hey Tony, they all need matching. There's no such thing as not needing matching, but they okay, I'm not going to have time to do that. But because it's 50 ohms at the NLA pin, and then obviously with a 50 ohm antenna. Hang on one moment. Alexa, turn on Save My Life.
Playing specific songs.
Stop, Alexa. Available. Alexa, turn on Save My Life. Okay, I got to remember always to turn on my exhaust fan. I'm sorry about the noise. Okay, so this is reflowing. It's up to 250 degrees, which is what I rework at. And you can see a little bit of paste just popped out the side then, a little bit of, which is fine. I will get that off after. Now the problem with these, the Nanos, is they're really hard to get back off again.
Absolutely says, can I try a test, please, Jim?
Okay. Can I try a test? Yeah, I guess.
Tess says, Alex, turn on my digest fan.
Is that too loud, the noise? Right, back to the antenna. Voice rule testing. You can, sure.
Absolutely says Alex Xar.
No, don't do those though. No. I block them all, and if you find one that works, I'll keep blocking it. I don't want people trying to control my thing, thank you. So
Absolutely says understood.
The noise is really not disturbing. Good. Okay, great. Because the sucking the flux for me is just not good. Right, so with the antenna, in the case of the Nano, I don't have any room for a matching network. 50 ohm antenna, 50 ohm pin, 50 ohm trace, a stack up for 50 ohms, but it's still not perfect. That doesn't give you 50 ohms. Okay, there's capacitance and inductance within the PCB and resistance, and even that small trace is affected by everything that's around it, right? If you want good antennas, you always match. No, you didn't have to do that. Crazy boy, thank you. You don't have to do that. Just don't keep doing it. Thank you. That was not necessary. Okay. That's cooled down. So I'm gonna have to. I don't want to keep jumping between the focus, but I can just pop this off now. Just comes off that little bit of solder bead. So we should try that out. I just want to make sure it works, and then I need to run the other ones through the test jig and see why they're failing, and then I can fix them. Process bit is not actually 50 ohms. Well, no, but on a Pico D4, it's got internal matching, but that internal matching is affected by your PCB stack up. So the only way to ever get perfect matching is to actually match it. But in the case of my Tiny Picos and my Nanos, I don't have room to stick a matching network. But from now on, all my boards have matching networks on them. I've actually just redone my S3 boards, and they've all got a full Pi and filtering components now on them. And from now on, I'm going to only do that with my S3 stuff, because the S3 is a little problematic. Okay, I am distracted. Let me bring up Need to log in to this. Log into this Pi. This is an old test jig for my Nano. I do have what I need to make a new test jig, but I haven't done it yet. And why is it not connecting to it? Oh, it's installing, it's updating Visual Studio, the remote SSH stuff. It's got to update it. Guys, hot plate or over for soldering SMD, or oven, right? Not reworking, but soldering. Oven is better. You're not supposed to reflow just from the bottom. You need heat top and bottom, but hot plate, or if it's just for yourself, hot plate's also fine. You can get to see what it's doing. Why is it? It looks like it's stuck. It's stuck trying to set up the SSH host. Why, oh why? It also, like for a 10 by 10 centimeter board, that's pretty big for a hot plate. Sample size of 2. What does that mean? Okay, I'm just trying to remote access to my just Raspberry Pi. Oh, there we go. Disconnected, reconnected, and it's there now. Okay, it should just turn on. Well, there's nothing to see. It's just an SSH session. Jack McMack, that you don't actually get to see anything. How about hot plate for 2-layer boards? That feels impossible. You mean 2-sided boards? Yeah, you can't do a hot plate for 2-sided boards. No, and even an oven, you got to be careful because you can't have whatever it's sitting on touching the components. So you'd need to prop it up with something. But it would have to be an oven. You can't do a hot plate for 2-sided boards. Okay, so I was hoping to have my new Nano S3 prototype PCBs here today, but as I said, they're stuck in Singapore. Okay, flashing, good. I've got new adapters. Where am I? I don't even know where I put them. I've got Pink Floyd in my head. I've been singing Pink Floyd for like days in my head now. Where did I put... Oh, maybe they're in here. Maybe not.
David Boyd says we don't need no education.
No, we don't need no education at all. Found the stencil. But I can't find the PCBs. What? Oh, maybe they're in here. Anyway, that passed. I've now got one good Nano, but it's got to be it's got to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. Hang on, I'm trying to find my new Feathers. No, they're not in there. Feather 3 Pro 3.
Rick the Almighty says comfortably now.
That's what I'm humming to myself. There's the stencil. Where are the PCBs? Wow. What have I done? Okay, I seem to have misplaced some PCBs. Oh, hang on, are they with...
Next says Pink Floyd. That's totally appropriate. I was wearing my Dark Side of Moon t-shirt yesterday.
Oh, were you? I was actually, sorry, while I'm looking, oh God, what, I can't believe I misplaced. While I've been working, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos, like music videos of Pink Floyd and Sting and Bowie and stuff, just for fun. I cannot find where I put these. How embarrassing. No. Oh well. I'll find them at some point. Oh, hang on. Found them.
Siegfried Homanto says Pink Floyd knew nothing about the moon. There is no dark side of it.
Okay, I found them. I'm sorry. That was just really annoying. I remember where I put them. I put them with, check this out. If anyone's been trying to buy any of these flexi pins and haven't been able to, that's because I bought them all. Look at them all. Yay, yay Arturo. So this is my adapter for my new test jig, or for my other one's multi-board, but it's compatible with the Nano, as you can see, because the Nano S3 is Tiny Pico Nano compatible, like it's a drop-in replacement. So, but I haven't built one of these yet because I'm waiting on my new Nano board, which is stuck in Singapore. So I'm still using for the Tiny Pico Nano the old test jig, just for now. That's all I wanted to show you. So I also need to make a jig for the back of this to be able to solder in all of these flexi pins. And for those that aren't aware what the flexi pins are, they're these little, it's not very focused, these little pins that go bendy, what you pop these into, and that allows you to put castellated in and out. So these are like, they're just a bendy pin. But JLC can't route slots small enough or thin enough. So the minimum they'll do in a slot, even a plated slot, is 0.5 millimeters, which is too wide for these pins. So I need to make a jig that goes on the bottom that allows me to hold the pin straight when I'm soldering them in. Now the reason I got so many, and I need to get a container. Okay, put all the boards I need to clean in a container. It's just a container. The reason I got so many of these is I also, as part of the Nano S3, something I never did with the Tiny Pico Nano, is I'm going to make a separate board that you can buy if you want for flashing and testing them. So what a lot of people have been doing, which is a bit freaky, is like if they want to use a Nano in one of their projects, they've been like bought a few of them and then they've been soldering wires to them to prototype rather than doing it off a daughter board, which is kind of weird. And people have been damaging the boards soldering pins to them. These are 1.27 millimeter pitch, so they're, you know, half size pitch to normal pins, and the components are quite close to the edge, so people have been damaging the boards soldering to them, which you're not supposed to be doing. Castellated pins aren't designed to be soldering on and off, on and off. So I'm going to make a carrier board that you can plug your board into to prototype with before you then go transfer it onto a proper board. That's why I bought all those flexi pins, but I just haven't got around to it yet because, you know, I have so much free time. Okay, let me move them out of the way now that I went through all of that and found them. So let's have a look at some of these other Nanos and find out what's wrong with them. So we have 1 out of 1 good board now. That might be the as good as it gets today. Now the most common problem I get with the Nanos is erasing or flashing, and sometimes it'll just be a GPIO thing. So it's often just the QFN. If I switch back here just to show you the issue with the Nano, and I've solved it a bit with the Nano S3, is because of the size, I wasn't able to really extend the pads out very far around the QFN. You can see them, but they don't stick out anywhere near as far as you would on a normal. Like if you look here on my Feather S3, you see that the pads are sticking out much further. So because of that, often I get issues where I just need to rework the QFN. Right, so that one just passed the test jig. I have no idea why this just passed, why it was in that tub, because that works. How weird is that? I might want to look at that under the microscope. Okay, let's try another one. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with this. This looks fine. I'm not sure why it was in that pile. Yeah, weird. Okay, well, another good one. This one is still going. You can skip the hold down clamp. Yeah, they all test the Wi-Fi. Hey, Loki. Out of curiosity, could you use the flexi pins as an alternative for pogo pins? No, can't use them for regular holes. They're only for castellated edges. Right, so this one's failed the GPIO test. And on my screen, if I just show you quickly here, it doesn't show it on there, but it shows it in here, that IO32. It lets me know which IO failed. So this has got a GPIO issue. Yeah, all of my test jigs do Wi-Fi testing and make sure that they work. Yeah, these pins only work on castellated edges. Okay, so now I could just try. Whoops, didn't switch. I could just try reworking just the pins and not. Oh, sorry, and not fluxing it. It's in an odd position because it's set up for the hot plate. Or I could just flux it and put it on the plate, and I might just do that because I might have to end up doing that anyway. So I'll turn this back on again. Normally I wouldn't do one at a time. I'd sit here and rework a whole batch so the hot plate doesn't have to cool down and get hot, cool down and get hot. So I'm going to give it a bit of flux. So this is matching. This is my water-based flux. What up with my tweezers? Sorry. So I've got to go through the whole heat up process now again. Where normally I'll leave it quite hot and I'll just swap boards out as I'm going. So while that's heating up, I'll stick another one in the test jig and see what that says. Now I was going to stop making Tiny Picos and Tiny Pico Nanos because of silicon shortage, but I just bought another reel of Pico D4s and I've that looks like it's got an erasing fault. And I've bought a whole bunch of the CH, was it 910 Fs? Well, I can't remember. I'll turn a second. Yeah, the 910, so 9102 Fs. I've just bought 1800 of those, which means I can make more. It just means I won't be using the Scilabs chip anymore. The CH chip is a drop-in replacement. So in this case, all I want to do is really just move the chip around, make sure that the solder and pads are all good, and get it back on the pads. And hopefully that'll be enough just to, I said hopefully, to fix whatever that I/O issue is. Carefully get it off again. Maybe. Okay, this one's got an erase issue. So
Bruce says, did you find a 5-volt fan for cooling?
no, I didn't look. I haven't had a chance to re-look yet. Okay, this. So this is just likely again a seating problem of the chip. Normally, if there's an erase problem, it's one of the RX or TX pins, which is just here, right next to this cap. And if I was ever to make this again, I'd move that cap further away, because it's quite problematic. Okay. Now, there's no guarantees that these are fixing them. This is like a first attempt at it. Isn't enough? Go back to here. We'll try. Got 2 more nanos. So the 9102
says looks like a potential bridge by that cap.
I don't think so. No. I think you're just seeing the flux.
Combinator says, where is the spec C?
Saying what? Where's the specky? Hello, Collinator. What does it mean? Where's the specky? Okay, so this. If it gets stuck running test 1, that means that no. Didn't get stuck. So that one's working. I don't know why that's working. I'll have a look at that under the microscope as well, just to make sure. Of course, once they get cleaned, I need to retest them, because maybe whatever's making it work at the moment is only because there's some parasitic electro. Hang on. Yep, no, there's nothing. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with that. I'll put it in there. It could be something like it could be some flux or something that's making an electronic connection that once it gets cleaned, it'll stop. Stick it on some pins. The sealant. Oh, it's over there. Logo can slightly out of focus. It might be. Hang on. Okay, this has got a GPIO fail as well on this one. Okay, so let's test these boards I just reworked. Interesting. Why is it doing that? I think it's just too bright. That's a bit better. Maybe. It just blows out a bit. VBAT, just doing one. I don't remember which one was which. One was a GPIO and one was an erase. But that worked. So whichever one that was, that fixed it. And let's try this one. Okay, I think that's taking too long to erase. So the other one would have been a GPIO, and this one, we did not fix the erase on this. That will time out. Just did. Okay. So maybe it wasn't those pins, or maybe I need to pull the chip off. Okay, let's fix the I/O. Okay, this one had the I/O failure. Okay, this looks like the chip's sitting slightly off the pads. So that should be an easy fix. One of the problems of using of not having the pads out really far or further than what they are is that it's easy for the chip to push over one set of pins and sit on the wrong spot. So I'm going to add some flux just here. Okay, it's up to 220 degrees. Non-consistent errors are the best. Yeah, no, they're really not. Okay. So I think that just needed a shift like that. And good. I think. So these are pretty easy. Except I'm going to have to pull the chip off on this one. That's the erase one that didn't work. With a board so small, getting the chip off is a pain. Because there's not a lot of weight of the PCB to stay down when I flip the chip. Be really careful getting it off. That actually looks fine. Just reseat it. I'm gonna try anyway. I'm going to have to fix, there's a bit of stuff sticking out the side there. I'll fix that with the iron. Knocked the antenna off. And I knocked the chip. Wow, okay, well there you go. That's what happens when you look away. Okay, that's frustrating. That is really frustrating, and I'm going to have to, I don't like doing this, but on a add paste. Oh, that splattered a bit, didn't like that. Not normally a good idea to add paste onto a hot board like that. That's why it splattered off. And I'm going to have to flux it all. It also gets to the point where you end up doing more damage than good on a board. Like, I don't know if this has been on there for too long. I don't think that antenna's going back on properly. Okay, that did then. Right, need to get this off. I'm gonna have to...
Max says this is becoming a splatter channel.
A splatter channel. Okay, I don't know if that board's gonna be alive. We'll see soon enough. We're going to do with the revived boards. Well, the ones that were the ones that are a simple revive, like that, you know, like just fixing an IO or whatever, they're fine for sale. Ones like what I just did then, I keep those and I'll use that on SAM or whatever else. I'll never sell a board that I've had trouble reworking. But I'd still like to rework it and see if I can fix it. I need an Aussie flag. I need more. Yeah, I need more flags. Hey Mark, how you doing? Hey Andy Mouse. Hey Emery. Hey Flow Rider. Oh, lots of people. Rob, hello. Hi Nassim. Oh, and Michael. Hello Michael. I didn't see you there. Who else have I missed? Apologise if I've missed anyone else. Hey Disc Shaker. Okay, so that's good. We fixed the I/O. Excellent. We attempted to splurge on one of the real-time spectrum analyzers. No, because they don't have the VNA capability. So for me, I needed a VNA. The spectrum analyzer as part of it is the bonus. I wouldn't have bought two separate units. So, yeah, the VNA was the important thing for me. Now, I need to clean this one up. Let me just refocus for you.
Mark Holson says you need to clean that Chester.
I need to clean the what? What do I need to clean? Clean the tester. Oh, my test jig. No, the test jig is about to be replaced. I'm going to resalvage I'm going to take the pie out and put a new test board. Put a new multi-board test jig there. Okay, so just get some flux along the edge. Get my new little Nano iron, which is great for getting into little tight places, as you can see. I mean, the real-time spectrum analyzers look awesome, but yeah, it was. If they made a VNA with the real-time, maybe, but also a lot of money. Very expensive. Okay, I don't know if this is fixed or not. This is a great candidate for one of my SAM racks. Oop, let's find out. Thanks, Peter. Like
Mark
this.
Holson says bang.
Don't say that. It shouldn't bang. I've never had one go bang. But sometimes I just can't recover them for whatever reason. And again, sometimes it's just a bad PCB and I'll never know. The only way to check if this is a bad PCB is to pull all the parts off.
Says boom.
Pull all the parts off and then check it. Like, this is just still stuck on a raise. So there's something else going on. At this point, I'm not going to bother trying to fix it. There's only so many times I can reflow it. So that now goes into a pile up here, which is my permanent death point. So far, five nanos recovered. Woohoo!
Later says crash boom bang.
Crash boom bang. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. So turn this off. Let that power down. So these ones are going to be interesting. As you can see, they're just under pasted along here and along here. Oops. So
Mark Olsen says boom bang a bang, boom bang the bang.
okay. Now I could just put paste along the side here and use my iron to fix those, because the Cure Fens have actually got little pads on the side as well as the bottom. But I'm not going to. I'm going to take the chips off and re-paste them properly. So let's do that now. I'm going to do these joined together. So what I need to do is get them off first. Now, get them off first. Let the board cool down so I can paste it and fix the pads, and then put them back on and rework. I don't want to be trying to fix the pads while the actual boards are hot, because you'll like you saw with the paste before, it'll just splatter everywhere. It just won't go on properly. Okay, well that's heating up. I'll unplug this. Need to get my other jig ready. Need to get my Tiny S3 adapter. Going to my multi-board test jig. It has a tracking generator, but it's 10k. Super sticker! Who was that? Mark! Banana! Thanks, Mark. Oh, I got text working on my logo, but you can't actually write anything on it yet. But it does say hello when it boots. I need to get it scrolling first. So I want to get it coming up with a message saying Super Sticker Mark Olsen on my logo. I just haven't had a chance yet. Okay, so we have flux on. Take the chip off. Hopefully. So you can see those pads have not been pasted properly. Okay. Chips get put down on a heat sink where I normally cool my boards. Okay. So now these get taken off. They need to cool down. So let me just look at these other ones and try to determine what's wrong with those. So these are all S3 boards. Okay, that's got shorts. See those pins down there? A lot of shorts that I can fix with my iron. That's a Tiny S2. Let's move that aside for now. And this Tiny S3.
Mark Olsen says Aussies do like their shorts.
What? Mark Olsen says what? Aussies do like their shorts. I'm not wearing shorts. What? Okay, I'm pretty sure this... I need to reset this chip. They shall be repaired. Second, unexpected needs to send them, and I'm afraid of both. Who? What? You're afraid of what? Me repairing what, and me sending what? Sorry, I'm confused. So I missed some of the conversation. I think I might have. You got the SVA, which has all the couplers built in.
Siegfried Homanto says, worry not. We have some secrets here.
Yep, Colonnada. So my unit it's a VNA up to 7.5 gigahertz and a non-real-time spectrum analyzer all in one. Yep. Now sometimes these fail because there's too much paste underneath in the ground area, and if I can give it sometimes a bit of a squeeze, and you see that paste came out the side, the solder.
Mark Olson says, I was building a barbie today, ready for those summer hamburgers.
Awesome. So I turn that off, let that cool down. What I can do is I can now fix that just by reworking the side with my iron. So this one, I'll go all the way around it, even though I don't need to. I'm not sure if that was a short in there on that side that I just saw, but let's fix these bridges on the side. Just wait till it heats up. So you can see why the this Nano iron is so good. Buttons in the way. Like I couldn't do this with a normal iron.
Mako says, hello my friends.
Hello Mako. Bit hard to see on this angle though. I think that looks like it's bridged. Get some more flux there.
Mako says, repairing broken board day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, broken, reviving, not quite sure. Good. Okay. Sorry if any of that was off camera. I have to get in the right angle for me. So we need to test that one.
Jack McMatt says, so when can we get our hands on the Reflow Master Pro? My hot plate is in desperate need of proper profiles.
So it is finished. It is finished. There's just a couple more software things that we need to do, and my biggest problem is I don't have time to write any of the documentation right now. So that's the only thing that's really holding it up. Like even the few little software things that need to be done, they're minor. Okay, let's see if, like I'm building hardware already. I'm actually manufacturing Reflow Master Pros. The first batch are already done. It's just a matter of, yeah. I wish there were more hours in the day. Okay, need to find my... Okay, restart. Oh, you can't see. Boot up, Tiny S3. Okay, let's see if these work now. Hey, Mr. England, we're not breaking, we're trying to salvage. Okay, that failed to flash. Interesting. It is a very...
Mark Olsen says watch out, CN is flashing.
Yeah, I'll keep my pants on though. That's a very unusual thing to see on a tiny
Maker says what
S3.
could be it.
No V-bus found. Interesting. Should have checked these boards before I tried fixing them. No V-bus found.
Mark Olsen says there seemed to be not much solder on the USB.
There's stacks of solder on the USB. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's just the angle. It's just the, what do you call it? Okay, I'm going to hot plate that. I think that could be a Schottky issue. That's the only thing that would block. This is not flashing. There might still be a short under here. I'm going to have to hot plate both of them. Oh well, I thought I could get away with not doing that. So I've got to restart my hot plate. Yeah, it kind of needs power to work. The boards. So by trying to fix them with the iron first, it means I'm not reflowing them unnecessarily. But yeah, there's definitely something going on here. And I think on the other QFN, I think there might have been a short underneath. I said that when I was putting the iron to it. Okay, this is heating up. And unlike my coffee, which is getting colder. So you can see why I don't fix these as I'm going. Just easier to put them aside. Wait till I get into the headspace where I want to start debunking them and work it out. Hey James, how you doing? Big channel milestone hit a couple of minutes ago for me. What'd you get? Did you hit 10,000 subs? I'm sorry, James, I haven't looked. I hope it's 10,000 subs. Yep, awesome. Well done. Well deserved. Okay. Well, I don't want to swap the Schottkys out. I don't think they need a swap. Maybe just a rework. And then this one, I'm pretty sure up underneath the pads here, next to the USB, that there's a short there. Or a problem. And there could also just be too much paste underneath on this one as well. If I gently push. No. Oh, yep, here we go. That little bit popped out just there. It's very hard to know. Turn that off. Very hard to know if you've under or over pasted the ground pad underneath the QFN, because you don't get to visually see it. Nope. Still nothing. So it could be a dead Schottky. Or it's a bad USB connector. Interesting. Okay. Normally I wouldn't have to go back and forwards with the camera and the microscope like this. I feel like I need two now. Just going to get rid of this blob of solder.
Mark Olson says at this point, I'd beep out the voltages.
At this point... no, there is no voltages. The test jig is checking for 5 volts and it's not finding it. Which means there'll be no other voltages.
Mako says no orange logo.
Sorry, no.
Mark Olson says I'll beep out something.
Beep out something. I'm just going to get my other iron. Sometimes the little iron isn't the right tool. But getting the big one in is very hard. Okay. Sometimes I need that extra bit of thermal capacity. Okay, let's try this one again. This is the one that failed flashing. Yeah, so there was a problem just underneath it. Okay, so hopefully that'll be a recovered one. I don't have an orange, no. There's yellow. Well, you can do orange yourself just with the RGB. What does logo hello do? I don't think that does anything. Yeah, I don't think it's the flipping the cable. Because well, let that just go through, make sure it works. Okay, so we've got a good tiny S3 there. Those pins, those V-bus pins are soldered fine. It's not the USB connector on the pins, which means flipping it shouldn't make any difference. When you flip it, yeah, I mean, I wonder if there is a short though. Let me just check if there's a short overall. We're going to do some beeping, Mark. I'm not sure if you'll hear the beeps. Can you hear this? Hope so.
Mako says beep beep.
Well, there's no short on the board. Definitely when it's not powered. Oops, you can't see that. Sorry. No short.
Mark Olson says logo crashed again.
I don't think it's crashed. No, just sometimes too many messages going to it too quickly. Just try it again.
Mark Olson says it rebooted again.
Rick the Almighty says it crashed.
Tess says beep beep beep.
Right, okay, maybe it rebooted. Sorry. Crash. So I thought you meant crashed as in not working. It said hello. Okay, right. Cool. Well, that's expected behavior. So there's no short here. Like it could be a dead Schottky. I'm going to just hit the USB pins again anyway with some flux. I think it's this hotkey, this bottom one here. Could be a problem. I should just swap it out. Let me just swap it out, just easier. I'll get my tweezers. Tweezies.
Mark Olson says do it.
Okay, go on. Got to put a new one on. I've got to get one first.
Bruce says we wanted the tweezers.
Mark Olson says it. I need some tweezers.
Tweezers are great. These are really good. I use them quite often. They're not as good, honestly, they're not as good for putting parts on, personally. Well, I'm a bit of a perfectionist in how things look. So they don't make as neat a solder joint when you're putting parts back on. So I'm usually reluctant to use them for that. I'll normally prefer to use my hot plate to get it back on. Like you'll see now, sometimes it works fine, but sometimes not. The other problem is they're still really tiny parts, and so sometimes they'll stick to the tips of the tweezers. Those tweezers look really big right now, but they're actually really tiny. I'll show you in a moment. And then sometimes see, that solder joint's okay. So just to give you an idea, they're my tweezers and that's my normal iron. Oops, you can't even see. And they're my big tips for the tweezers. Like you can't even see that. Look, they're really tiny. Oh, it's such a bad way of showing you. Anyway, I love them. They're really good. Okay, I hope I put the shock key on the right way round. Let's try this one now. And if it still doesn't power up, it's probably the USB connector. Okay, that powered up. So it was the shot key. I thought it was the shot key. Woohoo! So hopefully this will be another good board. Once that goes through testing. Now we need to fix those two that I took the chips off. So those shotkeys are SOD 523s. So they're pretty small. Oh, why am my Discord changed? Must have hit a key or something. Someone's pinging me on Discord. Look up schmick. Oh right, I used the word schmick. And they didn't know what it meant. Cool, okay, we have another good board. Yay. Okay. Let's now fix these.
It wasn't me.
Excuse me. I guess you've had a few issues with the diodes in the past to make a jump in thinking. No, that's my first bad diode I've had.
John Watkins says I got it.
It's my first bad diode I've had in probably 30,000 of them. No, but I know everything out. Like I know what else it can't be. Like there was nothing wrong with that USB connector the way it was soldered, and the way the test jig works, when it checks the 5 volts, that 5 volts is only connected.
Mako says has the diode deed in order.
Don't know. No, it hasn't died. I don't know. There was something just weird with it. It's gone. It's been thrown out. I'm not even going to try to check it. The 5 volt pin is only connected to that Schottky and then to VBus, which is here and here. Oops, here. So if they're soldered correctly, if this is soldered correctly, and there's no short on the board, it's got to be the shot key. It's as simple as that. Okay, so you might be able to see, there's just, see that here? Just not enough paste on these pads. That's all it is. There was just a couple. It was just the side of the squeegee, unfortunately, I didn't have. I obviously didn't have enough paste on it, or I didn't push it down right. Very unusual these days. These are the only two boards that have been under pasted out of every single S3 board I've built. And I've built a lot of S3 boards now. Okay, so now I'm just going to put with my iron, just get them on. Maybe do it slowly, because okay. And did I stick my finger in the paste here? I hope not. Okay, I will flux it, but I'll flux it after. Get the rest of it off. Hey Mike, how you doing? And hello John Watkins. And who else have I not? Origin UK. Didn't say hello to you. Okay, so flux. Lots. I go through a lot of flux. Got to be liberal with it. It's not cheap either, unfortunately. My water-based flux. Hello, Mad Tiki. Again, I'm just dabbing. I don't want to drag necessarily, because I don't want to. The solder mask between those pads is very, very thin, and dragging my iron back and forward is going to damage that solder mask. It's going to remove it, and I don't want to do that. Okay, I think we're okay. So now it's time to get the chips back on. Yay. Turn this back on. Adjust my microscope again. Nice if I didn't have to do that. Okay, chips back on while it's warming up. They're not going to sit properly because of the paste underneath on the show you here. The paste kind of, it goes up in the corner as you pull the chip off. So the chip's going to sit up a bit funny and rotate a bit funny until that solder on the bottom of the shield, the big thermal pad, starts to reflow. Hey Paul, so all the boards go through ultrasonic cleaner after reworking. I don't ship any boards that aren't ultrasonically cleaned, and with the paste I use, they have to be cleaned anyway. So if you use water-based flux, you must clean your boards. 100% have to clean the boards because the flux stays active. It's not a no clean, and it'll just keep etching away and deteriorate the pads. So you must clean them, and you've got to clean them really well. Get some on that cap. Okay. I think that one's good. Let's just do this one, make sure it's good. Just agitate it a little bit just to allow the paste to go under and inside the pads and on the outside. I'm going to push just gently. Okay. Hopefully, actually, while we're doing it, let me, oh, I didn't mean to do that, damn it. I want to do this board. So the hot plate's sitting at 250 degrees. So the paste I'm using is SAC 305, which has got a reflow temperature of about 235, but the thermal mass of the boards wicks the heat, right? So you need to make sure that you're getting hot enough. Okay, so this one here, this is the board that won't connect to Wi-Fi. And I have a feeling that there's something funky going on under the chip. So I'm going to pull the chip off and have a look. Thanks, Rhoda. Thanks for joining. No, that actually looks fine. Interesting. Maybe it just needs to be reseated. I wonder why. Weird, okay. We'll see what happens with that. May work, may not, might be something else, might be an issue with the PCB. Okay, so these need to be cleaned, these edges. They've not, oops, they've not been pulled apart before. I didn't bother pulling them apart because they had the pads needed to be done. But let's check them, see if they work. If they do, I have to clean the edges before I put them in here. So far, so good. Oh, wait. No, right. It's fine. Testing. Okay, we're good. That's one. Oh, while that's flashing, while that's going, I'm going to plug this one in. Second test jig. And I'll test the Pro S3 that I just reworked. See if that fixed itself. Can't get both of these on the camera at the same time, unfortunately. Sorry. Let's see if that worked. Okay, good. 2. So 2 more boards. I need to, as I said, I need to clean those. So I'll put them over here. And now we will connect to this one. And I'll check this board. Oh, I was going to have to update the host again. That is so annoying. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it's really quick to update the host, and sometimes it's... Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Booting. Testing. So this would go all the way through the test, but then it would fail to connect to the Wi-Fi. I have about 9 boards like this. Pro S3s and Feather S3s that will not connect to Wi-Fi, and I'm pretty sure there's a PCB fault, because no matter what I do, swapping chips doesn't fix it, changing components doesn't fix it, reworking it doesn't fix it. Okay, testing, connecting. RSSI looks okay, but it did before, but it just sits here and it just cannot connect. I'm watching the output. No, it just won't connect to Wi-Fi. No, it won't be a rubbish antenna.
John Watkins says antenna.
No, it's not the antenna. It'll work without the antenna. I can pull an antenna off a board and it'll still work. I mean, I can swap the antenna, I can try. Let's swap the antenna over into the death bin. Yeah, it's a shame. I really don't want it to go in the death bin, but getting the antenna off is going to be fun. Let me grab another one. I've never had a bad antenna, so I mean it's possible, but we'll have a look. Remove these. I've already done that. Remove the ESP and save it. No, I'd never reuse the ESP again after reworking it.
Mako says remove the ESP.
No. Okay, hitting up. It detects Wi-Fi networks, but that's a receive thing, not a transmit thing. It's failing on the transmit. Okay, that's going to be off balance. I need to get something on the other side to balance the board. I've been meaning to design a stand for this hot plate. You can see the board is bouncing up and down. It's because it's hanging over the edge. So it's quite a frustrating. Yeah, my board's a little bit too long for it. Can't seem to get it, is it not high enough?
Mako says, is this the tiny square hot plate?
Yeah, it's that little hot plate that everyone's been using. Can't get the antenna off because I can't get enough heat into it.
Mako says, yay, I know it.
I need something to go underneath. Maybe my ruler. Just one moment, folks. I need to get that higher. Still not high enough. Wow. How high do I need to get that? It's an awkward board to take that end out.
Calling says, is this MHP30?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's a little bit too small. Okay, maybe that'll work. Maybe not. Now it's too high. You need the PCB to be flat on the ball, on the hot plate, because again the heat is going to wick away. See, it's moving. It's not flat. Okay.
Madtergy says quite often panelist boards will have the same defect to the same spot on multiple panels. Find one and you've found the rest.
Yeah, in this case it's not that, because I've built thousands of these boards now and I've only got 15 bad ones across 2 different board designs. So, oops.
Mako says got a glass paperweight.
Glass paperweight? How's a glass paperweight going to help me?
Jack Mac says I'm using Byte with 3D printed spacer feet. Works great with the Miniware hot plate.
Yeah, I can't use 3D printed. Wow, this is annoying. Just can't get enough thermal mass. The heat. This is unusual. The antenna comes off a lot easier normally. I'm going to have to hot air it. Oh well, let's hot air it. That's disappointing.
Jack Mac says 3D printed spacer is only to get the right height for the metal PC bike clamps.
Metal PC bike. Right, I need something different. Like I've made these little like out of aluminium 2020 as a support. And I've got 2 slightly different heights on there so I can change them, but then yeah, it's still not ideal. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how far off it is. Okay, so let's just hot air it. Just got to be careful I don't melt the connector. So the problem with hot airing,
Use Captain.
the problem with hot airing, like Kapton's not going to work. I've got no easy way, no places to stick it down anywhere. Is I need to heat up the whole board, right? Like right now I'm heating the antenna area, but the PCB itself, the copper, is wicking away all the heat and spreading it across the whole board. So it's very hard to do. Like if it was a small component, fine, but something as big as the antenna, to heat it all up enough. Like you can see how long it's taking.
Mako says yay ground plane.
Not just ground plane, but also just the FR4 and all the rest of the components. Okay. Did I put the other one? Damn it. Now it's going to cool down. I moved it, unfortunately. Ah, you mongrel.
Mako says got you your Aska.
Don't know if there's enough paste here. Doesn't feel like there's enough paste. Yeah. Like, look how much the burn mark around the cork. Okay, there might be. Let's let this cool down.
Mako says cork pads are cheap to replace.
No, putting on the hot plate and hot airing at the same time is not good. That's really bad for the components, especially with the ESP32 S3 so close by. You're adding way too much heat in. I have silicon mats, not really, not the temperatures I'm reworking. What happens with the silicon mat is it lets heat through, not as much, but it bubbles. As it gets hot, you get a bubble in it, and then as it cools down, it shrinks down. So it actually moves the board while you're trying to rework it, which is really not ideal. Yeah. So reworking on a hot plate where the hot plate is set to like 150 degrees, that's fine. You can hot air then. But you can't hot air on a hot plate where the hot plate is already reflowing, right? And okay, I don't know if that's on. I think it is. Let's just check it. And the other problem is I still don't have the balance on that other one. Like yeah. The board is too big for it. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, cork mats are great for hot air work. Have a plywood offcut, protect the desk when I hot air. Yeah, you see the problem with the plywood offcut, James, is plywood catches fire. You ideally want something. Look at that, that just passed. That just passed, and I'm pretty sure...
Jack Max says CNC Discord for pick.
Okay, I'll have a look in a second. And I've never had a bad antenna before. So, I don't know whether maybe the other antenna wasn't reflowed properly. But that did just pass. So, that's really bizarre. So maybe I should take another board that has a bad... Now the question is the antenna going to come off? I'm trying to get the antenna off. No, it's not. Good. Okay, well that's... Now I need to go back to my other boards that have Wi-Fi problems and see if I can fix those. Oh, that's really annoying.
Rider 65 says pass.
Pass. The one things I didn't do is swap the antenna out. Let me go grab... I think this is also a bad Wi-Fi. As I said, I don't have many of them, which is great. Extra channel video coming in. Can hot air soldering catch plywood on fire? What temperatures are you hot airing at? My gun is at 400 degrees. Right, and it ignites at 250. And depending on your plywood that you're using, the glue in the plywood that puts it all together is toxic. You don't want to not only do you not want to cut it and burn it, but you don't even want to heat it up. Yeah, it's not the glue's a fire risk, the glue is a health risk. Okay, so testing. Yeah, failed Wi-Fi.
Cable tie says never fear, cable tie is here.
Yay, Peter! Hello. Okay, so we should try changing this antenna as well. But wow, that was hard work getting that one on and off.
Mako says hi, cable binder.
Cable binder. Should we try this one more and see whether I can get the same thing? If I can fix it with an antenna. Let me take the antennas out. It's worth a try. And you can see how many times that chip's been reworked trying to fix... Sorry, not how many times. So you can see that the chip has been reworked trying to fix the Wi-Fi. Chip's been pulled off, back on again. Replaced some of the caps to see whether it was a brownout issue or not. I don't know what can...
Cable tie says sorry I'm late. Mrs. Cable tie has the Rona. Dealing with that.
No way! Sorry to hear, mate. Stay away from her. Or just get it. Get it over and done with. Hey, Tradie Trev. Are they ceramic? They can break if they've been dropped. No, these are not ceramic antennas. They're PCB antennas. Oh! Sorry, that was me smacking into the microscope. Okay, let's get this off. We'll try it. We'll get some flux into it. I might repaste it this time though. Here we go again. Should get the new one out. Get it ready. Okay, it's ready. I find it hard to believe that it's the antenna. To be honest. I mean, maybe the antenna got cracked when they separated. You look at the edges of the antenna. It's just, they make it out of long strips of PCB. So maybe their cutting process damaged it, but I've used, God, 40,000 of these antennas. That would be the first antenna that maybe was faulty. So I don't know. Get that come off easier. No. No. Stay still.
Mako says flux it.
Oh, it's fluxed. I can see the flux.
Flowrider65 says you will have to sell the reworked for more money. Time spent equals money.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. Okay. So you can't see it, but I can see when it's fine because I can see in the little holes here and here. So solder gets sucked up into that. So I can see when that happens.
Mako says I'd not trust a repaired one though.
You'd not trust a repaired one? I would never ship a board that I wasn't 100% confident with. But boards that I've reworked too many times, I won't ship. When I say too many times, any boards I've reworked more than once, I won't ship.
Crafted boards.
Yeah. Okay.
Mako says was joking, of course.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. That's okay. So let's try this now. Be very funny if it works. So I have some news. Some of you already left, so those that stuck around get to find out. Some of you already know. I'll tell you when this is finished, if it works. But I have some news to share. Oh, that's looking promising.
Flowrider65 says V-Ray test after ultrasonic.
Always. Always. Every board is tested after cleaning before. Okay, that didn't fix it. Nah. So that got its RSSI connecting to my test router was only negative 51. That's one of the best RSSIs I've got so far. But it doesn't matter. That's a receive. There's something wrong with the transmit. So there we go. That's a board that it didn't fix it. So it could mean that this other board, it wasn't the antenna that was faulty. It just wasn't reflowed properly. Maybe reflowing the other antenna would have fixed it. But that is still not a good board. So I'll put that back in the Wi-Fi fail pile. I might try the other ones, some antennas later, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the solution. Anyway, we've got a few boards I can clean. Revived, which is great. Plus these two, I need to clean them. I need to put them aside. What? Hanging on for the news. No? That screen. Why am I so low in the screen? Okay. So, some of you already know. Hang on 1 second. Alexa, turn off Save My Life. Oh, quiet. How nice is that? So my patrons already know. They've known for a little while. But okay. Have you all heard of Swarm X? Swarm X are a company that do satellite IoT stuff. Let me actually... Swarm, or swarm.space. Well, it's not Swarm X, it's Swarm, sorry. So this is Swarm. They do these DIY satellite dishes. It sounds pregnant. And they're designed to do little, and they're little satellites. And it's designed to do small packet IoT. Think LoRa, but global through satellites. Anyway, they got bought by SpaceX. So they're now owned by SpaceX, right? In their current product, in their DIY kit, this eval kit, they actually use a Feather S2. You can see that Feather S2 ESP32 board, which is pretty cool. And so they have been gobbling up a lot of Feather S2s, either from me or from Adafruit. But I have now...
Badger says congrats.
Well, that's old news. Thank you, but that's old news. The new news is I am working on a new custom board for them. And the first order, which I'm waiting for my prototype boards to come, is in the many thousands, which is why I'm just buried at the moment with production. Between that and purchase orders from my resellers, and then just generally making stuff, it's pretty much why I'm not making videos anymore at the moment, and why I'm just haven't got time for really working on new projects and stuff. So yeah, I'm making custom hardware for them now. which is really cool. And so technically I'm now a supplier to SpaceX, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not going to space. None of my stuff's going to space. So yeah, the Feather S2 thing was already a thing. They were using that before they even got bought by SpaceX. But yeah, now I'm now a or soon to be an official supplier to SpaceX for hardware. Apprentice. Oh, sorry, I can't even read. Apprentice sharing your own time, delegate some work. I got no one to delegate to. I work from home. I don't have any space to bring anyone on here. That's a whole different discussion. Scaling is a whole... Well, we can save that for a whole another 55-hour conversation. Thanks, Tradie Dev. How are my chip supplies for those orders? I've just bought a lot of components. So over the last... This makes me feel sick. No, not outsource. No. Anyway, yeah, no. These don't get... I don't use CMs. I've got my own manufacturing line. I manufacture my own stuff. There's no outsourcing. Anyway, as I said, that's a whole different discussion. So over the last week, and I've still got a few orders still to do, I have spent just under $60,000 on components. And I feel, it's made me feel rather ill. Especially when most of my money is in Aussie dollars, which means I'm getting hit with a really nasty exchange rate at the moment. Hey Clem.
Mako says, Sin, you did once ask Search for someone to help you there.
Right, but I can't. I can't scale here. I can't have people working for me here. There's no space for anyone. So you can't see it right now, but the whole...
Rick the Almighty says, I hear John is setting up a new manufacturing line.
Yes, he is. Doesn't help me. I've got my own manufacturing line. I don't need... I'm not looking... Okay, folks, I'm not looking for a solution. Thanks. Everything from here onwards on my floor right now, I can't walk on my floor anymore. I can't get to my door without stepping over or going through a maze of boxes and bags and orders and stuff all over my floor. There is no place to bring anyone into work. I have got piles of bags of orders in bundles all over my floor. And that's a regular thing now in my office. Like, my kids aren't allowed in my office anymore because if they come in, they step on stuff. If you say it quickly, it doesn't hurt. The old story, spending money to make money. Sure. Anyway, I'm already looking at external premises. There's a lot of reasons why I don't want to move out. You can't just employ people to solve the problem. It doesn't work that way. Like
Rider 65 says big money to go from unexpected maker to SpaceX maker.
Well, no, not really. I mean, I can do everything I need to do here. It's just I'm doing it all myself, and it's hard. Catch you later, Andy Mouse. Oh, Dave's going too. Catch you later, Dave. But anyway, Roomba's not going to help me. I don't want the Roomba to clean up. Like, it's not rubbish on the floor. It's orders and products and components and stuff. Yeah.
David Watts says, I'll bring a tent, sleep in the garden and work for Tim Tams. I want to get in on that SpaceX hype. Congrats, mate.
Hello, Mr. Watts. Hello. Dude, you don't need a tent. Sleep in the garden. I don't know if Yaz would be happy, but I'd give up my bed for you, Dave, if you wanted to come here and help. That'd be awesome. Yours are probably rubbish. Yeah, mine are not rubbish. So I've currently got about I've got 11 different shipments incoming right now from different places. Mauser, DigiKey, LCSC, like 3 lots from China. Like I've got, like I'm out of headers. Like I just ordered 20,000 more header pins, like and 10,000 more bags. Like it's just stuff coming in from everywhere at the moment, and I've been very lucky that I've been able to secure all my components. Although a couple of components I've had to move. So like, as I said, I've moved to the CH, the 9102F instead of the CP2904. They're drop-in replacements, but it means that you'll need a different driver to use those boards. And then I've had to move my crystals over, at least for the SpaceX stuff, because I can't get the crystal. I put an order in for 20,000 crystals and got quoted end of 2023. So yeah, I've had to move to a different crystal for half my products, and I need to lock into whatever I move to, because once I hit the certification stage on my S3 boards, which I'm still planning, I can't change the parts anymore. The second I change the parts, my boards become uncertified, especially with the crystal. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Big commitments on components. I've been looking at factory space. I found a couple of places potentially. I don't really want to move, but I might not have a choice at some point. But it's pretty cool. It's very exciting. It's just, you know, long hours. I'm in here working every morning before 6, and late at night every night. And that's why I don't want to move into a premises, because I can't either work in the morning like I do now, or I'll just be gone before my family's even awake in the morning, and be home every night.
Says it's just a dream to do.
See, it's just a dream. No, it's not just a dream. Why is it just a dream? It's, yeah. CE is still on my plans, and then my Nano S3, maybe CE and FCC. We'll see how we go. Possibly. Oh, you're doing sarcasm. Okay. Dude, what we're saying is we need you to have your time to share your journey with us. Well, I do. I stream once a week. Oh, here we go. Spammy, spammy. Wow, everyone hit it. Well done, guys. We all got it. Oh, Mr. Watts won. I thought I did it. Thanks. Thanks, David. I'm surprised it's the first spam today. So yeah, I've been, planning and logistics of all this has been pretty interesting. It's been like, you know, 4 or 5 weeks to get up to the point. Like it started, like this job is like everything's incoming. I'm going to work out where I'm going to get all the PCBs from. Yeah, it's like mapping out. Like I couldn't move now if I wanted to, because I'd have to move in the middle of production. And I worked out it's going to be like 3 months to build all the boards I need to build. Probably, it's a lot, and I have to design special trays for shipping them in, because they won't be shipped in bags.
Will you not forget about us when you're big?
When I'm big, when I'm define big. Oh, poor Peter. There you go. Now you can help too. Yeah, I need to design. So all of the boards going to Swarm need to be packed. They won't be in bags. They need to be packed, not vertically this way, but this way.
Joey sized.
Push the date back. Yeah, I can't push the date back. If anything, they want them sooner. I've already pushed the date as far as I can. So I need to design. So they're still feather-shaped boards. I need to design special packaging, EVA foam packaging, where I can slot them in like this into the packaging to then go in boxes. So they can, so like trays, but I can't use. I don't like for me to get, you know, like a vacuum formed trays for them is horrifically expensive. You know, I'm getting quoted like $3,000 just to set up the mold for the tray, which makes no sense. So I'm going to be looking at EVA foam like I've done in the past with other shipments, but yeah, I'll need to get sheets of EVA foam and laser cut all the slots and load them all in and make them all stackable and then make them into boxes and then boxes and boxes, and there's going to be a lot of boxes of them because there's a lot of boards. Like hard drives are put in boxes, right, except these are really thin. I have to be very careful that, you know, the antennas don't get ripped off and everything else on them, and they need to be really close together to get them dense enough to reduce the number of boxes, but not so close that they can get damaged. Yeah, I'll go bonkers. That's okay. Past years, board revisions, component changes, making last minute alterations. Yeah, I've been lucky I haven't had to alter any of my boards up until now. And I was going to not make any more tiny picos. And that was going to solve my not having to change components. But the CH chip is a drop-in replacement, so there's no redesign required on that. That's the tooling cost, Eon. It's a one-off unless you change design. I understand what it is. I know how it works, Ray, but I don't have... Like, I'm not getting paid for the packaging that they get shipped in. So I'm not spending thousands of dollars on the setup tooling cost. Good night and better hobbyist. Laptop memory laptop memory sodiums are completely different.
Says, did you get set approved already?
So they're different size and shape to these boards. I don't design boards to fit trays. I make trays to fit the boards. So there's no pre-existing tray that I can use to put these in. Yeah. But I can't justify thousands of dollars for a setup cost and then have to pay per tray. Like that just chews any profit I'm making on the boards. I've costed for EVA foam, which is not cheap anyway. But it's still going to work out to, you know, a low percentage compared to what vacuum forming would be. And I've looked at making my own vacuum forming machine. Catch you later, James. Make your own mold and fill it. Well, making a mold, and then I need a vacuum forming machine. Like, so I'll save thousands of dollars on setup, and I'll spend thousands of dollars on a vacuum forming machine. Again, doesn't... Yeah. It's a packaging question. I'll work it out. It's fine. It's just, again, lots of things to do. No space for a vacuum forming machine anyway. Oh, it's fun. Thanks for technology. Cardboard trays should be fairly cheap. Cardboard is super expensive. Super expensive. So when I was designing my Nano trays to ship my Nanos in, the prices I was getting quoted for cardboard, even from overseas, because the issue is freight, because of the size, oh my god, cardboard is horrific. But I don't undercut competitors. That's not why I do it on my own. I don't have competitors. Like, I wasn't pitching against anyone else on this. Right? They actually came to me wanting a ton. I'm not going to tell you how many. It doesn't matter. A ton of Feather S2s, and I said no. I did not want to build a ton of Feather S2s when they're not using a lot of the functionality of the Feather S2. So I worked out a new design that it saves them money and it saves my production time. Less components, less rework, less everything, right? But at no point was it an undercutting thing. I don't do that. For any client work I do, people come to me. If they want me to work on it, they pay what I charge, and if they don't want to pay what I charge, then it doesn't happen. or they go do something else. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Wiping a knife. Yeah. Well, they were already using my product, so, you know, it made sense for them to come to me. It's all fine, Flowrider. This is not my first rodeo in business, so you can get bulk SIM, DIMM, RAM, stick, ESD, foam packaging things. Might be worth a Google. No, I didn't. So again, the problem is the SIM, DIMM shape. They're the wrong shape. Yeah, I don't have a SODIMM module lying around, but it needs to fit this, and it needs to accommodate the antenna. And that's the problem. It needs to be a custom shape that the antenna will not have any pressure on it during shipping, from any direction. So it's completely custom what I need. Yeah, and look, I can just buy sheets of EVA foam and laser cut it like I've done in the past. It's no big deal. EVA foam can be laser cut without issue. It's not toxic. I mean, it doesn't smell nice, but it's not toxic, and it's really quick and easy to cut. And yeah, you can get EVA foam. It's thin foam I need, so it's fine. It's not like I have to. Thick foam is expensive. At some stage, I wouldn't mind getting.
Saying David said something useful.
Yeah, I know. I just read what he wrote. Mako, thanks. I was just replying to him. At some point, I'd like to get a vacuum forming machine. It'd be quite useful for a lot of other things, or for smaller run stuff. But this is too many boards. I need something completely custom for this. Catch you later, Origin UK. Thanks for joining.
Mako says, oops, not paid attention myself then.
Nope. Oops. Yeah. So, what else can I tell you? I mean, that's pretty big. That's yeah. And I'm also potentially about to have some EU resellers come online for my boards, which is also pretty cool. So you'll be able to get my boards in the EU, hopefully. I'll add who they are to the buy links at the bottom, at least for my S3 boards when it happens, when they get their first shipments. Catch you later, Shipu. Have a good night. Basically a space engineer. No, but Looney was going at me all the time going, your stuff's in space now. I'm going, no, it's not. It's nothing in space. I'm not a space engineer. I wish I was. I wish my stuff was going into space, but it's not, unless it goes as junk. It's all for ground-based stuff. But it's still pretty exciting. It's still pretty cool. So, you know, I just go into the ranks of one of many millions of companies that supply to SpaceX. Catch you later, Cable Tie. Have a good day at work. I hope your wife feels better soon. Technically, everything is in space. That is very true. You posted something, Jack McMack, and I didn't look. Right, okay. Interesting. I'm just looking here. Hang on, let me... So... That's what Jack McMack posted. So he's got his hot plate and a bit of glass.
Mako says saying the space stuff needs to be super protected against cosmic rays.
Yes, I know. None of the stuff that I'm working with is space hardened. Well, it's not going to space anyway. It doesn't matter. What language are they coding in? They're running CircuitPython, and they've got their code running in CircuitPython, which is pretty cool. But there are people that have already got some of they offer some code in Arduino, but I think it's for some of their older hardware. But there are other people who are using their hardware and they've got IDF and Arduino libraries and stuff. So there's the whole community are doing all sorts of stuff with the hardware. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I need something a bit simpler. I've got an idea, I just haven't built it yet. I need to get a cold cut-off saw, and I just don't have any space for it. My current miter saw is just not great for cutting extrusion. Excuse me. Waiting for the UPS rep to take my money. Amazing they don't have online payments. Really? You don't pay in advance? That's crazy. Okay, so we salvaged some boards, which is awesome. I need to keep reminding myself I need to clean these two. And then I need to go ultrasonic clean those and test them again and pack them. And then I need to get back to what I'm doing. Sticking labels on bags. Or great for you but curious why they don't build their own custom hardware. They do. Well, they outsource. So this is just my board sits on their board and is the brains for their board. And they do that because that way they can swap the brains out depending on what they need. It's their boards are certified, and for them to change,
says you need a label applying robot.
For them to go and change their board to put in whatever, integrate something else that may not be the thing they need the next time, doesn't make any sense because they have to recertify. It's way expensive, and they don't make the type of stuff that I make. Doesn't necessarily make sense for them to try to do that themselves. So they came to the person that is supplying their boards anyway. Makes total sense. I'm just one component in a whole big scheme of stuff they're doing. I'm a supplier to them, just like they've got suppliers for lots of other stuff. They bill me, they mailed an invoice that I have to send a check or call in to pay. That is so crazy. Is that Canada? Bruce, you're in Canada, aren't you? I'm sorry. Sorry. No, I'm not Canadian. Still, I'm sorry. See you on Elon, Arthur. Thanks. No, not quite. Not quite. Okay, I'm just reading the chat right now, making sure I haven't missed anything. I'm going to change the logo. Thanks, John. That's better. Unfortunately, my logo reflects... What's that line? What's it reflecting? My outside window. Oh well. Time to get to work. Yes, it is time to get to work. I like streaming, and I feel bad when I look over the work I got to do. But yeah, it's how I avoid doing stuff. Logo Super Thanks, Jack McMack. Appreciate that. Have a good sleep. Thanks, Phil. I feel bad some weeks when I don't have anything overly exciting to work on in my stream. Yeah. Hey, Wagon Loads, I've got so many ideas for the logo planned, I just don't have time. No time. Like, even getting that working was interesting challenge. John's off to bed too. Catch you later, John. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Have a great week. And I will hopefully catch you all next week. And hopefully soon I'll have some VNA time to share with you all Whether I do it on stream or whether I do it on video, I don't know.
Mako says we're just glad you still have time for a stream now you're successful.
Thanks. So you're implying that that up until now I haven't been successful? That I don't know how to take that. I'm not sure if I feel offended or not. But thanks. I understand. Yeah. It's the biggest order I've ever had by far in a single order. But it's small compared to the number of boards I've built since I started, right? So to put it in context. But things are just ramping overall. Like I also just had my biggest order ever from Adafruit at the same time as the Swarm stuff. So yeah, it's busy. I got to solve my production. I know. I'm working on it, but I'll have to drag myself kicking and screaming into a different premises. Like, unlike John, who wants to go to a different premises, I don't want to go to a different premises. I'll probably end up in a different premises, but I don't want to go. So I'll be complaining about it the whole way. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Orders with next day shipping. No, they're definitely not next day shipping. And thankfully, both Swarm and Adafruit have got a good understanding of the silicon shortage and have given me very reasonable lead times, which is really appreciated. Yeah. So...
Mako says hope you find the premises in like 500 meters.
No, that's a little bit close. I found one 3.5 kilometers away, which is pretty good. It's really only 5 minutes away, no traffic, maybe 10 minutes with traffic. But it's going to cost a lot of money to fit it out. So, what did I miss? Moving day? No, I'm not moving. I'm kicking and screaming, wanting to not move. I just might end up having moved anyway. No, not walkable. I wouldn't want it walkable. Like, yeah. Anyway. Kick out the neighbours. Yeah, I can't afford to buy their next door, unfortunately. I just bought a 12 volt to 130 volt inverter for a Geiger counter. Okay. You have a lot of radiation around your area that you need to... Yeah, that's a worry. Okay, folks, I'm really going this time. Gonna make a coffee, get to work. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your help with the boards. Don't do it based on a couple of other events. Oh, absolutely. That's why I don't want to do it. I might not have components in 6 months. And then what do I do? That's exactly why I don't want... One of the reasons I don't want to move. Anyway, you spaceman. Catch you later, Dave. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. Hope the house is good. Want to hear about the kitchen? You started with the kitchen yet? No, I can't do this now. Gotta go. I'll speak to you later. Bye, all.
Mako says have a nice day, Sian.
Thanks, mate. You too. Have a good sleep.